I think all over the entire world, we have all had our own stories. Everybody has a story to tell. Every single person walking down the street has a sign hanging from their neck that says, "See me, notice me, love me, care about me. I just need a little extra kindness right now. I need a little extra care." I think everybody could use just a little bit of extra kindness and extra care. So when you see somebody walking down the street, remember that they have a story that's currently being written.
And oh, sometimes I wonder if there's a reason life gets so hard. Well, maybe you'll find what holds you together when things try to tear you apart.
So why am I here? Like, I know I'm sitting here making this recording, but I ask myself that question quite often. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Why do I exist on this planet at this time? And what role do I have to play in life in general? Sometimes I really don't know the answer to that question. I wanted to put my story on film because quite often when I'm lost in my own mind and in my own world, and I'm having one of my anxiety attacks or panic attacks, whatever you want to call it, I feel like I'm the only one in the world that ever feels this way. And I feel crazy and out of control and out of my mind, and like I can't even put it into words exactly how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And I try to verbalize it, but then I just keep thinking, well, nobody will know and nobody will understand. And if I say things out loud, I'm just gonna sound even more crazy. And so then I get even farther in my head and I get even farther kind of down a rabbit hole, I guess you could call it. I have struggled and dealt with anxiety and depression. Not that I necessarily fit in any category or any box, you know, I'm kind of all over the place with it, but I've dealt with it for most of my life. And it has taken on a whole new level this year. So this year for me has been really rough. I started 2022, the first day of 2022, by getting COVID for the second time. And that took me out. I mean, both times that I've had COVID completely wiped me for weeks. I had finally recovered from it, and then I got the flu. And, you know, in Michigan in January and February, it's pretty hard to exist anyways, but then when you're sick for 6 weeks, it makes it even worse. And, you know, the only way that I can really describe my existence this year is I feel like I've had an out-of-body experience all year long. I feel like I've been floating above myself, watching myself live my life, but I'm not connected to it. It really feels like I'm kind of ghost, just floating on top and watching and observing and not really feeling grounded or connected in anything. And I would say that I've been void of emotion, but I pretty much cry every day. So there's definitely still emotion there. But things that used to bring me joy, things that used to bring me happiness, things that I used to get really, really excited about, I cannot seem to connect with them. I was having the hardest time getting excited about things that I usually look forward to all year long. Things like Halloween. I mean, usually I start months in advance planning what I'm gonna do for Halloween, and we always make our own costumes, and we do, you know, the pumpkins and everything. It got to be past Halloween this year, and my kids actually mentioned that we didn't carve pumpkins for the first time ever. And I went, oh, I didn't even think about it. You know, I got dressed up for Halloween and went to a Halloween party, but again, I didn't even pass out candy because I didn't want to. I didn't want to see the kids. I didn't want to interact with anybody. I didn't want to see anybody. And then it got to be, you know, Christmas time. And again, usually that is the best time of the year for me, and I would decorate in October if I was allowed to on most years. This year we got our tree set up last weekend, and I thought, oh, if I can just get our tree up and decorated, it will feel like Christmas. I'll feel connected to it. And the tree got put up, and I just still didn't feel connected. I find myself quite often just going through the motions. I wake up in the morning, I hear the alarm, I hit snooze a lot. I hit snooze a lot. But then I get up and I go about my day. And I almost go into maybe like a robotic mode of just, these are the tasks that I have to get done, so I'm gonna do some of them, because I definitely don't get everything done on my to-do list. Which then leaves me feeling completely and utterly overwhelmed with everything that I have to get done, or that I think that I have to get done. There was a point really recently, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, that I felt so completely out of control and helpless and just spiraling. I was spiraling really, really, really fast. And I just wanted to go check myself in to Pine Rest or wherever. And I just wanted to walk in the door and say, I'm broken. I need to be fixed. I don't know what to do. When people look at my life, or when I look at my life, I have a really good life. I have an amazing, amazing husband who loves me and adores me and tells me that all the time. I am protected, I am cherished, I am valued. I have children who, yes, they're teenagers. They are amazing, every single one of them. They are absolutely incredible. I have a very, very amazing, happy family. I have a gorgeous house that we live in. We have cars that work and function. I love what I do for my job. I don't even call it a job. I love what I do for my passion, my career. So for all the reasons, I have a really good life. And so I can't explain. I can't say, oh, I'm depressed because of this, or I have anxiety because of this. I don't know where it comes from, and different things trigger it. I could be having just a totally normal Tuesday, some random Tuesday, and something happens that, again, is not that big of a deal, and all of a sudden I'm just a pile on the floor, or I've gone back to bed and put the covers over my head and I don't want to see people, or I'll be in the store and all of a sudden, like, complete social anxiety takes over, and I'm like, I gotta go. Like, I'm just panicked and I don't want to be around people anymore. And so, in some ways, I feel stupid and I feel guilty and I feel just irrational that I'm experiencing these things when people from the outside looking in are like, but your life is so good. What do you have to complain about? What do you have to be stressed about? So I went out to eat with my sister-in-law a couple weeks ago, and we were having a really great conversation. But then it kind of went a different direction, and I shared a little bit about what I've been experiencing lately, because again, I don't talk to a lot of people about it. I guarantee that most of the people that know me didn't know how low that I had gotten recently. Probably not even my parents knew the full extent of it. I think the only one that really knew how low that I've gotten is my husband, who sees all of it. And she asked me, when is the last time that I felt fully alive? And through tears, I told her that it was December of 2019, so 3 years ago. The day after Christmas, we had a family emergency, and one of my children had a life or death situation. And it was pretty intense, and it took a couple months to be completely resolved. And then right after that, the pandemic started. And then during the years of the pandemic, I had another moment with another one of my children that reminded me a lot of that moment. And it just brought back all of these emotions, and I was terrified, just thinking, we're gonna go through this all over again. And then another one of my children ended up having an undiagnosed medical situation for 18 months. And I felt completely helpless. As a mom, I couldn't do anything. I just felt like my children were just under attack. And at the same time, I'm trying to navigate through this pandemic and just trying to keep going. And I just feel like I've been holding my breath for 3 years, waiting for the next major event to happen, or the next, illness, or the next catastrophe or traumatic event. And that really hit me, that it's been 3 years. That's a really, really long time to hold your breath. I wanted to share my story because I want other people to know that this is what I've been going through. Because if you're going through it too, or if you know somebody that's going through it, at least you know that you're not alone and that other people feel the way that you do. I know that 2020 and 2021, as we were going through the pandemic, what people don't realize is that pretty much we were on high alert for 2 years. We were just waiting for the other shoe to drop for 2 years. And it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. I don't know about you, but I have been more tired this year than ever. And I do think that that's because we all thought that 2022 was supposed to be like the year. We finally get everything back. We get our life back the way that it was. I honestly don't know if life is ever going to go back to how it was.
The reality is that more of us are dealing with anxiety and depression than ever before. The pandemic took a toll on everyone. We're trying to get back to some normalcy, but what does that even look like? Our children are not exempt. 61% of Gen Z have been feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge. 42% feeling down, depressed, or hopeless. And 18% thoughts that you would be better off dead, or thoughts of hurting yourself in some way. That number goes down slightly for millennials, and then slightly more for Gen X and boomers.
So this is really honest and raw, and I'm still experiencing everything. I'm not on the other side of it. But over the past couple weeks, I've realized that I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I want to be better. I want to find myself again. I want to come home to myself. I want to figure out how to get my brain to start functioning again, and I want to figure out how to gain control of my anxiety and my depression. And I realized that I keep waiting for, I don't know, just like a magic wand or a genie in a bottle or something, but really, it has to come from me. It has to come from deep down inside me, the want and the desire to get better. And just recently, I was able to grasp a hold of that just long enough to take the first couple baby steps. And so at work, instead of listening to some random music or, watching Netflix or whatever, I started listening to books, self-help books, not just entertainment books. But I wanted to know, are there ways to unlock my memories that are stuck right now? Are there ways to increase my brain capacity and my brain function? And are there ways to deal with anxiety and depression without going on a ton of medicine? I've had a lot of conversations with my husband lately, and when I get into these moments, I keep telling him, I just want to disappear. Now, let me be very, very clear. I do not want to die. I am not suicidal. I know that that is not the answer. That's not the answer for anyone. I've seen the effects that that has on everybody else except for that person around you, and that's not something that I wish for anyone. I would never go that direction. But I kept telling my husband, I just want to close my eyes and disappear. And he's like, I don't understand that. Do you want to just go away? And I'm like, no, I just want to blip, click my heels together or whatever, like Dorothy, and just like I'm somewhere else. And I came to the realization that I don't want to feel the way that I'm feeling. I want to be able to snap my fingers and be the person that I was before all of this started. I want to be able to get back to that person and not feel the way that I do about these situations. And so I guess it's just a weird way of describing it, but I just want to close my eyes and make it stop, like the craziness that's in my brain. Well, pretty much I need to pull myself up by my big girl panties. And my mom reminded me last week that I'm a warrior princess. And she was like, you better start acting like one. Oh man, when your mom tells you something, it just kind of you just get convicted by it. Yes, I did. So I wanted to make this video so that I wanted to give people hope. I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that there are people that are going through the same thing that you're going through. Collectively, as a whole, we all need healing. We all need to release all of the stress and emotions that we've had over the past couple of years. I just finished watching Limitless with Chris Hemsworth, and it was amazing to learn so many things about what we can do, just tiny little things that we can do, that we can change to make our bodies function better, our brains function better, to add years to our life, and to help with, the aging process and memory loss and things like that. I'm trying to fill my brain with positivity. I'm trying to shift the way that I speak. My husband called me out on it and said, you need to stop saying I can't. I need to start saying, I don't know how yet, but I'm gonna figure it out. Those are really empowering words. I still don't have the answers, but I'm not gonna say I can't find the answers. I don't know them yet, but I'm gonna figure them out. And I'm just gonna keep asking questions, and I'm gonna keep doing research, and I'm gonna keep talking about it, and I'm gonna keep praying about it until I figure it out. Because I don't want my 2023 to look like 2022 did. I don't want that. I want to feel fully alive and present in all the situations. I want to experience these years that I have with my kids. I can't get those years back, and if I just am numb and just kind of coast through it, that's not really being present. That's not building memories and really, really experiencing that time, because all of a sudden they're going to be grown and out of the house, and then I can't get those years back. I invite you to find a way to just discover a little bit of joy, a little bit of happiness. Do something for yourself. Do something that is self-care. Do little shifts. You can't take the giant steps. Nobody climbs a mountain in one step. They take little steps the entire time. So just take baby steps. Can you change what you're eating? just a little bit? Can you change your self-talk? More positive self-talk. If you speak it to be, it really can be. Your attitude is your altitude. What you think about, you bring about. There's so many like fun little cliche statements. But you know what? The cliche statements, they work. They make it work. I write tiny little phrases on our whiteboard, on our refrigerator, or I'll write just a Bible verse or something. And again, I'm not forcing anyone to read it, but I guarantee that everybody that walks through that kitchen ends up reading it at some point. And, so just write yourself notes. Send yourself little messages that are positive. Tell yourself, I am worth it. I am loved. Say those words in the mirror, stare at your face, and believe those words. Because you have to believe them. If you don't believe them, it's not going to work.
Even if you are tired, push through. You can do it. Never give up.
You are not alone. Reach out. We're here.
Keep fighting. You are strong enough.
Never give up. You are worth it.
You are brave. You are strong. You can handle anything that you are facing.
Things are always the most difficult before you've even tried them. But as long as you keep trying, you'll find success. I promise. I believe in you.
No matter what you are going through, you are strong enough to handle it. Never give up.
You're doing amazing. Just keep going.
You are good. You are enough. Love yourself more. You're worth it.
You are loved. You are beautiful. You are special.
You are valued. You are perfect just the way you are. You are not a mistake.
You are adored. You are not invisible. You are seen.
There's always light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to keep going. Always look for the good.
This is not the time to give up. You might feel alone right now. Maybe everybody forgot about you. But let me remind you that God will never forget about you. He is for you. He is with you. He said he cannot deny himself. He will remain faithful every day and for eternity. So take it one day at a time. Breathe. Value the simple things and be grateful that you are alive, that you have a chance. Do not give up. Do not give up.